Yeah, obviously it's great. I'm so glad that we were able to put it together. I mean, Arsenal's a fantastic club, great tradition. I love being there. A lot of familiar faces come back, whether it be staff or players. And it's a special place. It'll always be a special place for me. So the fact that we could get it together and get the guys out here was something that I was looking forward to. And yeah, just looking forward to the game now.
Barnes raises her arm and left foots it in again. This one is
to
the back of the net for a Seattle goal. Beautiful goal.
I think it just shows another way that our club wants to try and be better. Every year we try and get international opposition, whether it be club or country, to give the girls an opportunity to play against different standard of player, different type of player, different environment. And obviously for me, Arsenal's one of the biggest clubs in the world. So to get them out here shows how much drive and ambition our club's got. I think for us it's about utilising that as an opportunity to prepare for the Portland game. I think obviously with the defeat against Chicago, I think our priority is definitely the Portland game, but we can utilise the Arsenal game to work on things that we wouldn't necessarily be able to do in another league game. We're focused on trying to make sure we can be the best we can be on Thursday, but always having the back of our mind that the Portland game's for sure our priority.
Barney did a good job of coming out
Little.
there.
Kim Little. Goal! Seattle!
Yeah, I think it's a great honour for her. I think the fact that she got recognised for her week in, week out performances is great because she hasn't had that opportunity to play on a major tournament stage yet. So just to be recognised for her club commitment and her club performances is great for her and obviously great for the club.
Jeans are what made Kazi look like Tomo, gave Allison her freckles, and put the blue in Jordan's eyes. And jeans are what can help the Swedish Cancer Institute choose which treatment will work best for each individual patient. At the Swedish Cancer Institute, we call this new way of treating cancer personalized medicine. But people like Sherry call it a ticket back home. The Swedish Cancer Institute. Extraordinary care, extraordinary caring.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped coworkers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater: our members. Join us.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen her for a few years now. It's flown over, but she was one of the best coaches I worked with, and I also worked with her at very young England youth level as well. So I know her very well, and I know what she can do with a team. And obviously, me as a player, I think she developed me and put me in a starting lineup to make me a true Arsenal player. So I owe a lot of credit to Harves and what she's done for me. No, I mean, it'll just be a different challenge. I think we know how fit and physical the Americans can be. So I think it'll just be us competing with that and then hopefully showing our talent with the ball. So I think, you know, in England, that's how the game started to become. It started to become more physical. So I think this is a good challenge and a good stepping stone for us leading into the second half of our season. I think you've always got to create that balance, but, you know, we're Arsenal and we want to come out here and we want to win. We want to put a good show on and we want to play well against one of the top teams in America. I think it'll be a good experience for us and a different challenge, and I think it's always good to face different opponents and another opportunity for us to, you know, play here.
Well, I think as a player who has been probably, in my opinion, personal opinion, punished because he played for Scotland and he doesn't play for the US or England or other big national teams. She is, for me, probably one of the best players in the world, if not the best, in terms of intelligence, but obviously very deserved reward and probably still room for her to grow as a player and to improve because she's still young and she's performing very well for this league. Well, we want to show how we can play. I think we play the Arsenal way. We play building from the back, combination, high pressure, trying to regain the ball as high as possible, trying to dominate the game. We know this is not going to be easy here because the intensity of the game here probably is higher, the physicality of the players. A well-prepared and competitive team with Laura will be difficult, but it's a challenge for our young players. We are also in a transition moment project where we won the FA Cup last week, but we are giving opportunities to young players, and that's one of the objectives here when we started this year. And now we're playing Seattle, and it's a good experience for all of us. Well, it's really good. I think people are very friendly. The West Coast spirit, and we really love it. The girls, some of our players, they have never been in the US, and for me, it was a way to come back to also to live that experience. Personally, I think the city is fantastic. The allocation where we are is also great, and we are having a fantastic experience with the group, which is what we were looking for.
It's international soccer in Seattle tonight in the shadow of the Space Needle. Seattle Reign FC welcome Arsenal Ladies FC to Memorial Stadium. Great to have you with us, everyone, along with Leslie Gallimore, the head coach at the University of Washington. I'm Tom Glasgow. Well, a friendly tonight. It doesn't mean there will be a lack of competition, but certainly a different approach tonight, Leslie.
Yeah, you know, both coaches will probably look at this game as a chance to either rest some players, get some players back into form that have had injuries and maybe been out for a little bit, and possibly see some players that haven't had many competition minutes. So there's all kinds of great things that can go into this game, particularly for Coach Harvey sitting where they are in the season, looking ahead at the Thorns coming up.
The top player for the Reign happens to be a former player for Arsenal, and that is Kim Little, the Scottish international who received a terrific honor earlier this week, named the BBC Footballer of the Year for 2016. She continues to do it all.
The accolades just keep coming. U.S. national team player, former U.S. national team player and Olympian Shannon McMillan got to come up here to Seattle this week on behalf of the BBC to award Kim her Footballer of the Year plaque, and they just, you know, it just doesn't surprise us. And again, we talk about having this gem of a person and player in our city, and every chance I get, I tell kids to watch her as much as you possibly can, because we're just treated to something really special in her.
Absolutely. And more good news for a Reign squad that's been dealing with a number of significant injuries. They get back in action tonight. Midfielder Jess Fishlock coming back from a fractured tibia. It's all about conditioning now for Jess, but good to have her return.
No doubt. And, you know, with the injury to Pino originally and then Fishlock going out on top of it and other injuries that they've had, it'll be very good for the Reign, just from a confidence standpoint, to have a player of her experience, her composure, what she does from a work rate standpoint in the midfield back in, and to get her some minutes as we move forward in the season. So it'll be good to see Fish back on the field. Arsenal
Ladies, the most decorated club in English football, and their top goal scorer in league play coming into tonight is Dan Carter, a special talent.
Yeah, anybody nicknamed the Little Rocket, I want to see play. That's apparently her nickname, and I'm looking forward to see it. Skillful and speedy, athleticism along with technique. So those kinds of players, you know, who knows why Laura has these guys over here. But anyway, it'll be fun to see her up close and personal, and Hope might get a good look at her, is my guess.
And, of course, Reign coach Laura Harvey, former manager of Arsenal as well. So a number of connections between these two clubs. Again, thanks for joining us. The opening kickoff is coming up.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped coworkers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater: our members. Join us.
By the time these babies grow up, someone they know will get cancer. But when that happens, doctors will sequence the DNA in their cancer cells to guide them toward the best treatment, and their cancer will be cured. This personalized genetic medicine sounds like just the thing we've been waiting for. Only at the Swedish Cancer Institute, we're not waiting. The Swedish Cancer Institute. Extraordinary care, extraordinary caring.
Don't miss a moment of the action this season. Tickets for all 2016 Reign FC home matches are on sale now at reignfc.com. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium at Seattle Center. Seattle Reign FC against Arsenal Ladies FC, an international friendly on this Thursday evening here in Seattle. Take a look at the starting lineups tonight. We should point out that both teams will probably take full advantage of having 7 substitutions this evening. We mentioned Jess Fishlock returning to action tonight for Seattle. She'll probably play about 30 minutes, with the Reign really using this match as an opportunity to get ready for a league match on Sunday in Portland against the Thorns. Hope Solo back in goal. She was unable to play this past Sunday due to the memorial service for her grandmother, so good to have Hope back. For the Arsenal ladies, in goal it will be Emma Byrne. Defensively, Emma Mitchell, Gemma Rose, Josephine Henning. The midfield, Vicky Lasada, Jordan Nobbs, Leah Williamson, Marta Corradera, Dominique Jansen up front, Dan Carter, and Jody Taylor, one of the Arsenal players who have experience playing for Laura Harvey when Laura was running the show for Arsenal. Seattle's defense again, Solo in the goal, and Rachel Corsi getting a start tonight defensively along with Lauren Barnes. Lauren Barnes will serve the role as captain tonight. Wear what the pros wear. Pick up the new 2016 jersey for men, women, or kids. We have hundreds of Reign FC items to choose from. Head over to reignfcshop.com. Good look at Hope Solo. Looking forward, obviously, to getting back in action. Haley Kopmeyer did a very good job in the match on Sunday. 2-1 loss for the Reign as they will look to bounce back after falling to the Chicago Red Stars. Kim Little scoring the only Seattle goal in that match, a penalty kick in the 89th minute.
You know, what I would say too is that I think this is great timing for the Reign to have this type of game. They need to take, I wouldn't say pressure off themselves, but just, you know, a game that really doesn't have any meaning behind it, but you can make it have meaning. You know, everyone just to get themselves right about how they want to play as a team, and again, get Fish some minutes, some reserves you're going to see come off the bench to get time. Hope hasn't really hit form with this team yet, and again, the death of her grandma, may Alice Shaw rest in peace, one of my favorite people of all time. Never missed a Husky game when Hope was at the University of Washington, so a shout out to Hope's family in Richland tonight, particularly her mom, Judy Burnett, who I know has lost both their parents in the last couple years. So I think Hope is ready to move on and play for her grandma the rest of the season, and again, just get herself kind of in form playing for the Reign as she heads to the Olympics with the national team after the break.
If I didn't know better, Leslie, I would swear I'm watching Arsenal against Chelsea.
Yeah.
Reds and the Blues as Seattle in the blue kits this evening. And a foul against Arsenal. Another one of your former players, Lindsay Elston, getting a rare start this evening. It'll be interesting to see how she performs. Number 6 for Seattle. Yeah,
Lindsay's been, you know, I think in more of a holding position is a little bit better for her, but kind of the 8 player that can hold and join the attack. Lindsay's had a good preseason and a good early going for the Reign. She's come in late in most games and created opportunities for them. So we'll see what she can do getting the start.
Saw Dan Carter putting some very good pressure on Rachel Corsi. Vicky Lasada, number 6, also coming up and making it difficult for the Reign here early in this match.
So we'll have to see, you know, if the Reign right off the bat, they have to pay attention. If Lady Arsenal's going to press right off the bat, then they need to maybe bypass their back line and get the ball to their midfield sooner than later and try to play on the other side of those forwards.
Michelle Cruz, number 21, also getting a start for Seattle tonight. Paige Nielsen, who just made her debut for the Reign in the loss to Chicago, also starting this evening as again. Both Laura Harvey and Pedro Martinez Losa want to really share the minutes here this evening.
Yeah, no doubt. You have to use that game for this. And there you see right off the bat, Carter with slick little move. I think in the 4 times I've seen her touch the ball, she's used about every surface of both feet. So clearly the sign of a decent player. Jody Taylor.
Knobs, again, putting the pressure on Corsi this time.
Jody Taylor, no stranger to the Pacific Northwest. In addition to being in the league, also has played for the Oregon State Beavers, and a player that we never really look forward to playing against, but it's great to root for her now that she's become a pro.
Number 18 in red, Lasada, receiving a very nice pass. Here's Carter. And right into the back of Lasada.
It's a wall pass. It's a great combination if you can get it off one of your players when they're not looking and back to your own feet.
That would be creative.
They're going to press this ball. I don't know how often they want to do this.
Can I scooch in behind you and go around? Nope, I got to go back.
Just fish luck. And there's Kim Little. Terrific pass by Little. Here's Beverly Yanez. Nielsen unable to do much with that pass. Still on the ball.
Good to get a look at Paige Nielsen. I haven't seen much of her other than obviously spurty moments in her collegiate career. So as a pro, it'll be good to see her. I would say in addition, as you know, Havana Salon, who I was able to coach with the under-23 team in Croatia this year, but got hurt in the preseason match against our University of Washington team last year. And I tell you, in the first 15 minutes of her pro career last year, she was the best player on the field. And it's taken her. She had a bad break at her ankle. It's taken her a while to get back into form. I think when Havana Salon does get back into form, the product out of the University of Florida is going to be something really special for this Reign squad.
Hope Solo and all the players that have international responsibilities will be heading out after matches on Sunday. United States and all the clubs that have qualified for the Rio Games, of course, setting their sights on the trip to Brazil. Good look at Rachel Corsi, Scottish international.
Reign are going to have to decide here early on. They're going to give one player on the back line for the Reign Arsenal is time on the ball to look and try to build out. But they're not going to give that second pass much time. So where they play out and how they play out, I think, is going to be paramount to how they do today. Is it going to force them into playing longer balls? And if they play out slowly, I think they can get themselves into trouble. We've already seen, as good as Hope is with her feet, if she's being, pressed by an oncoming forward, that's putting her in a really dicey position.
Williamson losing the ball momentarily, but getting help. Lauren Barnes chasing it down as Jody Taylor chases her.
And here we see it again. Jody Taylor's been charged with pressing Hope. How many times she's going to be able to get out of that is a good question. I have faith in her, but you don't want to put your goalkeeper in that position too many times.
And Little nearly making a very nice connection with Havana Salon. Of course, the risk when you pressure the way Arsenal is pressuring so far is you are susceptible to that counterattack.
And that's what the Reign have to do well, is when they break it, they've got to go quickly and get on the other side of them and catch them, which they have a couple times already, and now they've earned a corner out of it. We've got an Arsenal player down.
That's Leah Williamson. She joined the Arsenal youth program at the age of 9 years old. So all she really knows soccer-wise is this Arsenal club.
You know what they've built over there, and it's been really, really exciting to see the English Women's League improve the way it has. And, you know, to think about the fact they beat Chelsea in the FA Cup, but they're only halfway through their season and they're sitting only 5th in the league, goes to tell you what the rest of that league looks like. And it really, really has improved. You know, obviously it's great for us to have coaches like Laura Harvey here, Mark Parsons here, working in the NWSL. But it's also great to have these types of friendlies so people get a real taste of what other international football, professional women's football looks like.
We have a stretcher that's being brought out onto the field right now. Let's hope this is not too terribly. Oh, saw the right ankle. That may be something that has Leah Williamson sidelined for a fair amount of time. But this is what you do not want to see in these matches, are any type of injuries of consequences. You saw that right ankle buckle, and she will be carried off the field. So unfortunate we don't get to see more of Leah Williamson here this evening.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they substitute for her quickly because they have the stretcher. I think it's probably indicating to their manager, their coach, that she does need to come off, and they're going over the set pieces with the potential substitute already. And even if she were able to go back on, again, it's a friendly, and for a player heading into the second half of her season that's of her stature and ability on this team, you don't want to risk it. Even if it's something that she could maybe tape and run off, this game's of no consequence to risk that kind of further injury. But hopefully it isn't anything worse than just
18 years of age.
Just a rolled ankle.
A teenager carted off, and coming on for Arsenal is Alex Scott.
Your attention, please. Substitution.
A player very, very familiar to most of our internationals, an England player, tons of experience.
And into the match, number 2, Alex Scott.
Flag up, offside against the rain. Alex Scott, who has just come on, one of a number of players on this Arsenal squad that are also members of the English national team, and what a terrific job they did in the 2015 World Cup in Canada.
Absolutely, and it's, again, the improvement of that squad, the investment that they've made in their football there. You know, in a country where the men have prided themselves for years in the quality of the soccer that they play, and to be able to, you know, have a team come to a World Cup and on the international stage and the world stage perform the way they did really opened a lot of people's eyes, particularly in the UK, I would say.
Sure it did quite a bit to add momentum to the girls' youth programs in England. Fishlock and Knobs getting tangled up a bit right there.
Well,
here's Carter. Nicely done by Dan Carter. A little strong on the touch, but a good idea.
If Fish is, if her leg is bothering her at all, it does not look like it. She's come in, she's already gotten into a couple tackles pretty quickly, and looks very, very active, and is looking to make the most of the 30 minutes that I think Coach Harvey's going to give her.
Carter again working that near touch line. Of course, he'll track it down.
Jodie Taylor.
Here she
pressing
comes
again.
And Corsi with the good decision just to let that go out for the goal kick for Hope Solo. Arsenal arriving in the Seattle area on Sunday. If you caught our stream before we began game action, you may have seen some of the highlights of their time in Seattle. Looks like they enjoyed themselves down at the Pike Place Market. Hard not to. One of the great places to spend some time here in Seattle, whether you're a resident or a tourist. Arsenal will leave tomorrow and make their way back home. Strong on that touch by Knobs. Look at Kim Little fending off numerous defenders. Here's Fishlock. And again, the pressure coming at that time from Marta Corredera.
Yeah, and you know, playing through the midfield like that, quick connections between Elston and Fishlock need to happen. And the ideas there were right, but the press is coming so quickly. They just have to know it's coming and just be a little bit sharper playing out of it. But once they break it, the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players pressing our 4 or 5, they get beyond those 6. It's an outstanding ball by Hope and a great first touch by Michelle Cruz to get forward. If they can get past those 6, they're off to the races.
Now Cruz dealing with Carter, and then Knobs quickly over, leading to a Seattle throw-in. Certainly as a former Arsenal player, this must be a match, even though it means nothing other than good opportunity to compete, but for Kim Little to go against a squad that she was a member of for 5 years must be fun for her.
Absolutely. You know,
3 goals, 2 assists for Kim in league play so far this season. Nice ball ahead. This is Nielsen, and a very nice save that time by Emma Byrne.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake by the English defender, or the Arsenal defender, I should say, and Paige Nielsen had an opportunity to capitalize there.
A scoring opportunity so far for Seattle. Take another look at it. And Byrne looked like she got her right hand out to deny that shot.
Yeah, she just did a great job of coming out, getting down to the ball and making herself big. Outstanding save.
A foot ahead in the direction of Taylor. There's Carson Pickett. First time we've mentioned Carson, the rookie out of Florida State. Had a rough go of it against Chicago on Sunday. Not one of her better games, but for the most part this season really has been rock solid, stepping in for the retired Stephanie Cox, who was a former member of the U.S. national squad.
Yeah, and you're going to see that. You're going to see rookies have, you know, a little bit of dips and valleys and peaks, and that's to be expected somewhat. Havana Salon there knocks one out of bounds, and that's why they get these games under their belt, you know, to be able to get the nerves out, just get themselves to a point where they feel comfortable and confident playing at this pace against this type of team. And but Carson is, you know, Laura couldn't be more happy with her as their draft pick.
And Leslie, when we see matches like this and you have combinations of players that aren't normally on the field together in game situations, you'll see some miscommunication, some passes that don't appear to be going to anyone in particular, but that's some of the things you have to work out fairly early in a match.
Yeah, just team chemistry and learning how to play sort of with your pairings around your area, outside backs and wing players and central midfield combinations and how they play underneath certain forwards and get used to one another. And I think that's where the Reign, with such a veteran squad, they have such high expectations and high standards for themselves on how they perform in possession. And when it doesn't go, you know, it's never going to go perfectly, but when it doesn't go close to perfectly, they're not satisfied.
Scott showing some of the speed that she has. Taylor in the box, unable to get on the end of the pass.
It's a good job by Corsi there. She's in good position facing forward to be able to play out quickly.
Free kick for Seattle. Can't get any closer to the action without being on the team. Join Reign FC on the pitch at Memorial Stadium for your chance to meet players, watch warm-ups, and receive exclusive team signed gear. It is the VIP experience. Go to reignfc.com/tickets. Scoreless in Seattle in the 15th minute. Arsenal Ladies FC, Seattle Reign FC. Dan Carter on the ball, over to Knobs. Trying to find Lasada. And here's Kim Little. Good to see Fishlock back out on the field. Makes such a huge difference. Of course, no Megan Rapinoe. Not sure if we will see her post-Olympics. And maybe even a bit of a stretch coming off the ACL injury suffered back in December. The Seattle team, the top regular season squad the past 2 seasons in the National Women's Soccer League, but losing to Kansas City in each of the championship matches the last 2 years. 2 wins, 3 losses, and a draw so far for Seattle. Very interesting that both of these teams in the still fairly early stages of their season, still both trying to find their way. NWSL for Seattle, and the Women's Super League in England for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Pickett finding a little out to Yanez. Nielsen.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea, but I do think what the Reign need to start to do a little bit more is when they get on one side of the field, they need to look to switch the point a little bit. They got it into a high player. If they can just get it underneath into one of their midfield players and out on this wing, I think the numbers and the space are really good to be able to get in behind them with the serve.
Losada. Carter.
I do like Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fun to watch. She's really calm on the ball, has good ideas about where to go with it, solves pressure on her own without help, solves pressure with her teammates.
Recently turned 23. She scored the only goal in the victory over Chelsea just a couple of weeks ago in the FA Cup final. That was at Wembley Stadium, a crowd in excess of 30,000.
Which is just outstanding to hear, as I said before. I have socks that are 23 years old, by the way.
Ahead, Elston gets on the end of it, still on her feet. The shot by Yanez, and goal, Seattle.
Great job by Lindsay Elston to get on the end of that ball. You could tell she wanted it. She did well to get it out from the keeper's hands on the first touch. And Yanez, we know what she's like as a finisher. If she's going to have that kind of time and space in the box, she's going to, more often than not, do well.
17th minute for Bev Yanez. Take another look. Emma Byrne coming out.
Lindsay Elston does a great job to get a touch. Almost fouled by the keeper there by Byrne.
The 18th minute by number 17, Beverly Yanez.
Nothing easy about that. Beverly Yanez, who in league play this season.
And Arsenal right back down. Hope's got to make a routine-ish save there, but that's what you don't want to do after you score a goal, is let them get a shot off right off the bat. So those type of focus moments for the Reign are going to become very important.
Always the danger, right? Within the 5 minutes of a team scoring, they seem to amp it up a little bit, trying to strike right back and reclaim some momentum.
They do, and you have to stay focused in those type of moments.
We'll have a throw in. Looked like Pickett was unable to keep that ball in on the far touchline. Good look at Alex Scott. Losada. Yanez surrounded by 3 Arsenal players.
They put good numbers around the ball. They get 2 and 3 players. And again, I keep mentioning it, and it's in all parts of the field. If you can break their press right off the bat, if they've committed those kinds of numbers, it means that their numbers aren't great somewhere else. And it's having the wherewithal to figure out where on the field that is and to get the ball there as quickly as you can.
And you'll have a lot of space and freedom to try to take advantage of.
Absolutely.
And there is the manager, Pedro Martinez Losa. Spent a couple of seasons as an assistant with the Western New York Flash in the NWSL. Appointed manager with Arsenal back in August of 2014. Had a nice opportunity to visit with him before kickoff tonight. And he's really excited about the opportunity to have his club here this evening.
I don't know him well, but I know of him, and reading about him, he really is a manager and a coach that is very dedicated to women's football, and someone of his stature and his background. It's great to see him involved with the game and at this level, at the professional level, and his reasons for bringing the Arsenal team to America are outstanding. And it'll be fun to now, having seen this team live, follow them the second half of their league season.
Carter, Losada, defended by Little. Arsenal looking for an equalizer. Yanez. Foul. I believe she was taken down by Dominique Janssen, a Netherlands international. Of course, one on this Reign roster in Manon Mellis, but she is out with a fractured tibia.
Which is just strange to have 2 of those in one season, to be honest.
Well, there's a blueprint in place anyway now with
Yeah.
Jess Fishlock.
How to get them back.
How to get them back, and relatively quickly.
Yeah,
We're talking 4 to 6 weeks, and it was really more like 4. So.
And again, knock on wood, that's not you know, the worst of the injuries that you can have. So we won't even mention those other ones, but you know, at least these are recoverable in a relatively, you know, short amount of time.
Well, Seattle's showing some pressure.
Yeah, they've gotten into their swing a little bit as far as possession and you know, getting strings of 4 and 5 passes a little bit more. And when you go up a goal, you can feel a little bit better about yourselves and play a little bit looser. And that's what it looks to be with the Reign right now. Just trying some things and being a little bit more comfortable taking risks in the final third.
Nielsen trying to get a shot off, denied.
I think that's one that, you know, she may look at on tape again as a rookie. Yeah, you want to turn on your player, but at this level, when you've got people in and around the box that are facing the goal and you're not, you might want to try to find them first.
Fishlock.
Great first touch.
Ahead, Cruz. And Arsenal with Dan Carter.
The little rocket.
Unable to make that connection with Nobbs. As Pickett sends it back the other direction. This is Emma Mitchell. Scotland international, along with Kim Little and Rachel Corsi for the Reign. So they sure have had a chance to spend some time together over the past few days.
Yeah, I think they've all had fun visiting with their friends and people that they know and acquaintances that they've either played with or against. And obviously a lot of them playing for or knowing Laura and Tracy Kevins. It's just a really cool opportunity for both sides.
Corsi. Arsenal was looking for a foul against Salon, did not get it. Throw in for the Reign.
And there you can see with Havana Salon, just that little dish that she gave off. That's her thing. She is really good with the ball at her feet, with both feet, different surfaces. She's super creative. And again, when she gets back into complete form and comfortable playing at this level and this pace as a professional, she's going to be outstanding in the long run for this club.
Here's Pickett. Fishlock up ahead, Little onside, but unable to get to the ball. A nice job by Burns shielding her off for the goal kick. Terrific honor, that BBC Footballer of the Year award for Kim Little. The winner of that award in 2015 is on the Arsenal roster on the bench to start this one. Asiat Ashwala, Nigerian international. That award is only in its second year, so the only winners here tonight. Flag up, offside on Jody Taylor.
Now watching one of my former players right now, Lindsay Elston playing the midfield, and because Jess has been hurt a lot of the year, they've trained a lot together this season, but to see them on the field playing the beginning part of a match together is priceless for Elston, to be honest. Timing of that run could a little bit better by Paige, but you see what Fishlock brings threading that through there. But I was just watching as the ball went out of play. Fish give Lindsay, you know, a couple of pointers. She was talking to her about how to shift defensively, where she needs to be, and trying to get on the same page with her. And again, you know, this is invaluable experience for an athlete and a soccer player of Lindsay's caliber and level and potential to learn from a veteran like Fishlock.
Asada to Carter, and Fishlock taking it away. Again, expecting to see her on the pitch for 30 minutes, so unless that changes, she's got about 5 more minutes before she'll take a seat. Nicely done by Lasada to Nobbs, but a poor entry pass into the 18 by Jordan.
Yeah, and that last ball, Lindsay was in a great spot to get it from Fish. I liked how composed she was. She just made a poor choice on where to go with it. And credit to Arsenal, they did a good job of defending it. But I love the fact that she's comfortable and confident in there trying to build out. Lindsay's a skillful player, plays well with both feet, covers, as you saw when she got in on goal before the Bevianez goal. She covers a lot of distance. I mean, she's deceptively fast and kind of rangy in her running, and she's terrifically fit. She'll get from end to end all game.
Taylor trying to run on to the end of that pass and will not get there. Chilly evening in Seattle. Things will be warming up early next week. Sunshine returning on Tuesday, at least that's the forecast. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, so the Memorial Day weekend, unfortunately.
So it's not going to be January?
It's not. Little.
Oof. Good look there, and you saw
Henning
both,
turning it just
both
the
Bev
right
and
time.
Paige Nelson making a decent run, and great job defensively. Well, while there's a little lull, I do want to give a shout out to all the professional sports teams in Seattle for the hashtag If You Want Seattle Love. Our women's golf team, coached by my longtime friend and coach at UW for 33 years, Mary Lou Mulfler, won golf's first national championship yesterday, and all the professional teams in Seattle, the Mariners, the Seahawks, the Reign, the Sounders.
Yanez close to a second goal.
All giving a shout out,
Yeah.
and it's just, and I was out of town at the time, to see that blow up on social media. It's a big reminder of how great a sports town this is.
Terrific pass by Salon.
I think that's where Bev Yanez just gives teams so much trouble. Her mobility up front, she ghosts off the backside of defenders so well and loses them, and just gets out of their sight of vision, and then a little ball that they think they have a play on, she cuts across the back of them, and she makes things dangerous, and she creates things. And I think that maybe in the regular season that's what's hurt a little bit. You see Kim Little is a little bit closer to the forward line tonight because Fishlock is back, and that's, I think, what's going to be the attacking strength of the Reign, is to have those two playing closer to one another.
Cruz switching it over to Pickett. Nice job with the header. Getting it forward to Elston. Right back to Pickett, back to Lindsay.
That's good combination play right there. Good ability to solve pressure.
Fishlock.
Well, we're coming up on the 30-minute mark. Great little dish by Havana.
And not exactly what Paige Nielsen had in mind with that right foot. Pick your favorite 5 matches and put together your perfect package. Match packs are a great way to see the matches you want and receive discounted ticket prices. Call 855-REIGN-FC for more information.
So that's the thing I'd say about Paige Nielsen, seeing her kind of in this arena for the first time myself, is she does some things that are a little bit hopeful in some ways, where I think they can work for better. Great little dish by Havana Salon to get her the ball, and I think they could have built a little bit more. But you know what? You're a striker for a reason. You have confidence. You think you can score just about every time you get it. Why not?
Dan Carter with a very nice run. You see her athleticism on display. Into the 18, that pass by Mitchell. Looking for Taylor, denied by Corsi.
Good job for the Reign to win that one back on a little bit of a poor clearance by Carson Pickett, but they got themselves dropped and into good shape to win the next ball.
And Little being double teamed, a turnover. Here's Nobbs, and unable to get it back to Taylor. Just needing to clean things up a little more in that final third. The Arsenal ladies trailing in this 30th minute.
So you see all the Reign players behind the goal. You don't see the Arsenal players up yet, but warming up as we come upon the 30-minute mark. Be interesting to see what some of the first changes are for Coach Harvey. Sometimes as a coach in a friendly, you have something set in your head and you want to stick to it. You've already told the players, but then there are times when the competitive juices in you start flowing, and you maybe those objectives slip your mind a little bit, and you like the way the current group is playing. So it'll be interesting to see how she manages her substitutions.
Good defense there by Mitchell. Byrne clearing it out. Fishlock. One thing we know about Jess Fishlock, she may have been told she'd play for 30 minutes, and at the time may have agreed to 30 minutes. But she may be looking over at Laura Harvey saying, you know, I feel just fine. Although we do have a sub getting ready to come in Kendall Fletcher, a defender. We'll see if she'll be coming on for Jess or somebody on that back line. Scott up ahead. Taylor.
Good ball movement by Arsenal.
Lasada.
I like the interchange and
Knox out wide to Carter.
the tempo that they play out in the attack.
Lasada trying to get on the end of it, cannot. So again, just some fine tuning needed.
And it's Fish.
Ladies and gentlemen, substitution for your Seattle Reign FC. Leaving the match, number 10, Jess Fishlock.
Well,
Yeah, she got an extra minute out of her anyway.
well, it's just so good to see her back on the field and see her get those 30 minutes without a hitch. Clearly was excited to be out there. She looked herself. She really did. She didn't look rusty. She looked like if she's, probably been training lately, that she's getting up to speed, and really, really hopeful for the Reign that she can hit these next few games and help contribute to getting 3 points out of some of these games coming up.
Saw the hug from Laura Harvey, everyone on the staff, and her teammates that are on the bench congratulating Jess. That is very encouraging, especially with a very important league match Sunday in Portland against the Thorns. Offside is Nielsen.
Yeah, I like that run by Nielsen, and I like that ball by Havana Salon, I think, played it, or Michelle Cruz. Either way, Nielsen just has to hold that run or make that lateral a little bit more till it's hit, and then she breaks, but that's the right space to look for it.
Nicely done by Mitchell to beat Salon. And then sends it directly over the touchline for a Seattle throw-in. If you are watching our stream back in England, we certainly thank you for that if you're watching it live, because it is certainly very early in the morning. We hope you enjoy seeing your Arsenal ladies here in Seattle for this friendly against the Seattle Reign. 34th minute, a 1-0 Seattle lead. The goal coming from Beverly Yanez in the 17th minute.
Great switching ball there, catches Carson Pickett out. I would say those as a rookie are that might be the ball right there. And I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game last weekend. I was out of town, but when you're the far side defender and you're bouncing off at the back like that, in the college game, that's probably one of the biggest things that is the adjustment. Most players don't hit that pass that distance in one touch, that switching ball that beats you over the top. And Carson should be able to win that ball outright coming forward. So she's going to need to learn the range of some of these players she's playing against and balance herself off on that far side a little bit better so she doesn't have to play it in 1 or 2 touches or chase it down.
Lasada. Jansen getting the return pass. Miss hit on that attempt. Fletcher, nice switch to the near touchline. Here's Cruz. And looking for Little, trying to run onto the ball. Well defended that time by Arsenal.
Well, it's late in the UK, or early. And there's obviously probably a lot of interest back home with Fishlock's family, Kim's family, Rachel's family, and obviously the visiting team, Arsenal ladies. So hopefully they've maybe taken a nap, woken up, tuned in, or they'll be able to watch it on the replay tomorrow. But if they are listening right now, go ahead and tweet us and let us know, and we'll give you a little shout out, because that's real fanhood right there if you are.
Absolutely.
Oh, and I didn't mention Dave Harvey. Is he in town or is he home? Laura's dad, because he's the biggest fan of them all.
Well, we had Jess on at halftime of the Chicago match on Sunday, and she put an order in with her mother, so when she heads back, she'll have her meal of choice.
The right biscuits and the this, the that, yeah.
So Laura Harvey with that brief exchange with Dan Carter. Dan was one of Laura's players when she was managing Arsenal.
It's fun to listen to all these players. outside of the Reign team talk about Harves and what she's meant to their career and what she's like as a coach, and you know, a lot of it reiterating what we've seen over the last 3 seasons.
Carter with the foul of Kendall Fletcher. Speaking with Laura about her experience in Arsenal, and just could not say enough good things. It was, in her opinion, her big break. They understood when she wanted to make the jump this direction. Here's Kim Little in the 18, a dangerous position where she had the right idea.
Some magic there.
Nice recovery.
Oh.
That ball just deflected over the goal. I tell you what, if she had not tripped herself up, she may have found the net.
And she almost did anyway. Just the footwork and how quick her feet are.
That was Mitchell getting ahead to it.
And anytime you drive a ball across the box with the opposing defender facing her own goal, it can cause trouble, and it almost did there for Lady Arsenal.
Kim will take this corner. Back to Laura leaving Arsenal to come here when the Seattle franchise and the NWSL were launching. She just saw it as an opportunity. Arsenal viewed it as well, one where she could establish herself, put her own stamp on a program that was starting from the ground up.
Dangerous corner kick there. Arsenal calling for the goal kick. Keeper saying she didn't touch it. It went off the crossbar. And the Reign raised their hand first. They're maybe getting a partisan decision here. Either way, Reign corner kick 2 in a row coming.
Lauren Barnes. See if they take the conventional corner or go with the short corner.
Lauren Barnes had a cute Instagram or tweet today. She is the captain today, and she tweeted a picture of her old club coming to town, and it was when she was little in California playing for Arsenal. She had an Arsenal kit on. And Lou Barnes is also the ticket today. She's the featured player on the Reign ticket. So, you know, it's all about Lou today and being a former Arsenal player.
Keelan Winters, the usual captain for this Reign squad, getting a rest tonight. No injury of consequence, just a break. Same story likely for Merritt Mathias. Again, nothing really wrong with her, but Laura Harvey determining that their needs will be better served with some time on the bench ahead of the Portland match. Yanez Little with some space and a lot of room to her right, and there it is.
And a great choice and a great first time ball. Right idea by Havana Salon. And a run by Bev, and Bev's giving her the thumbs up. It was just a little bit off the mark, but so smart for her to play that ball first time into that slotted space. I mean, this is just a deft touch right here by her, right across the PK spot. Such a dangerous area, that second 6-yard box, the 6 to the PK spot. And just a little bit, you know, on the turf, it runs a little hard, and Bev couldn't get to it, but I love it. And you know, Dave Harvey is awake. He couldn't sleep, so he's up. Here he is.
Sure, his daughter appreciates the commitment, the dedication.
And a Tracy Monroe is awake. 4:10 a.m. in Scotland. Love it.
We really appreciate your taking the time. Chilly night in Seattle, and another Arsenal player down. Hopefully this is nothing of any consequence. Trying to pick up the number is Lasada. Again, earlier we had the injury, right ankle of Leah Williamson. She really only lasted a few minutes in this match, and we wish her the best. Hopefully that is nothing that'll keep her out for any extended period of time.
Yeah,
but
hopefully it's just a rolled ankle. It didn't look great.
Foul on the Reign. I asked Pedro Martinez Losa if he wished he could have maybe got in another match during their stay here, extend the stay a bit. And he goes, you know, we have so much of our action gets compacted in that it's nice just to have one game over an extended period of time. So he was fine to travel the distance that they have traveled to play this Reign squad here tonight.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, that's going to take it out of you. I don't know. I don't have the schedule handy when their next match at home is. But again, you have to, all these things you have to time the right way. We know from the very first season of the NWSL when the Reign went to Japan and came back, that's no easy trip. And when you get home, it takes you a little while to get your body back, your wits about you, your sleep pattern right. And so, you know, you have to plan all those things accordingly.
Arsenal ladies due to return to WSL action against Sunderland AFC on June 26th.
So they have a little bit.
They got a little bit of time. That may be very good news again for that ankle for Leah Williamson. Look at Laura Harvey.
This has got to be really, really fun for her.
Yeah, bringing back some memories. She had tremendous success when she was there. Last time they won the league title, Laura was at the helm. Emma Mitchell onto the ball.
Again, just with the one substitution so far for the Reign, nearing the half mark. It'll be interesting to see halftime what other players Laura Harvey decides to try.
Yanez limping a bit. She goes down and onto her back.
That was a weird thing. I don't know what she did there.
Let's see this.
But it wasn't contact.
She remains down. Let's see. They're going to play this out, I'm sure, so they can get Yanez some attention.
Merritt Mathias warming up and walking over to the bench. Oh. Kirsten Dahlstream, I think, has gotten the nod. Laura's not going to mess around with this too much. I think she's called for a sub already.
Reign FC matches are great for your next corporate outing or team activity. Ticket discounts are available for groups of 15 or more. Call 855-REIGN-FC for more information. Well, based on the reaction and the smile on the face of Bev Yanez, she appears to be fine.
She's a tough cookie. But again, it'll be interesting to see if Laura wants to take the risk or not. Kirsten Dahlstrom, Dave, as she knows, is known, bib back on, back to the warm-up crew.
Probably figuring Bev can make it to the end of the half, couple of minutes away. And she was the goal scorer in the 17th minute of this match. 1-0 Seattle.
We have people watching from New Zealand, Scotland. Someone who says she must be a real fan because her tibia is broken. Not necessarily the club you want to be in, but what the heck.
Good luck with that recovery. Mitchell with a throw in. So Jess Fishlock, Merritt Mathias on the Reign bench.
Haven't talked too much about it, but this isn't typically where Kendall Fletcher plays. I think she's filled in there a couple different times. She seems to be holding her own clearly as a center back, stepping into that 6 role and playing sort of a defensive, holding midfield spot. She's good enough on the ball to connect through there, so it's not out of the this world to see her in that spot. She maybe drops off a little more than you would like her to, as opposed to getting into holes and playmaking. But when it comes to stopping the Arsenal attack, she's certainly someone that can win balls in there.
Fairly quiet first half for Hope Solo, and she is likely to watch this second half. We expect Haley Kopmeyer to come on. Solo's back up, got the start on Sunday. Did a very nice job, 2 goals scored, but really the responsibility was not with Haley Kopmeyer. Jen Hoy for Chicago scoring both the goals in that Red Stars victory.
2 minutes stoppage time.
2 minutes of stoppage time. Pickett getting a head to it. Barnes being harassed by Taylor.
Great switching ball by Lindsay Elson. If Havana Salon could get onto the end of it. Wasn't quite ready for it. Maybe didn't start her run wide enough either. But wasn't a bad idea. We have someone in India watching.
Good to hear.
Romal Diaz. I like it. I just got back from Ethiopia last week, and I think I may be in his time zone still. Not quite, not quite sure where I am most days yet, so that's a long ways away.
We'll talk more about that and what you were doing there in the second half. Barnes to Little. Curious to see if Kim comes back for the second half of this match. Salon trying to keep it in and does, but battling Mitchell, and Salon with a foul of Emma Mitchell.
As it is with any team that's going to press, they can press for only, it's hard to press that high like they were in the beginning of the game for a full 45 minutes, and the rain handled it well, weathered the storm, started to break the press a little bit more, got past, 5 and 6 players with 2 passes pretty easily, and now I think in the half, to be honest, enjoyed more of the run of play in the front half of the field. Although not as goal dangerous as you'd like them to be, but I do think there might be more of that coming in the second half as far as figuring out how to get more shots off. You saw Kim with a good chance. A couple of offsides calls on Nielsen.
Little, Fletcher. Nice touch up ahead to Paige Nielsen with the shot.
Not shy.
Not shy at all.
I think I might have mentioned that.
You don't shoot, you can't score, right?
Someone told her
She
that at some
gave it
point.
a go.
Yep, she did. And again, time running out, so smart. And the other thing I would say is, again, these young players, look at Havana Salon, just such great awareness to play that ball into space as quickly as she did, and just skillful, perfectly paced and weighted pass into the run of the forward.
So we've reached halftime, 1-0 Seattle over Arsenal Ladies FC. As we mentioned earlier, terrific honor this week for Kim Little, the BBC 2016 Footballer of the Year. Here's more on one of the world's top players.
Yes, John, we are here stood in a corridor, and we are in Seattle. We are at Memorial Stadium. We're just outside the locker room. I have Shannon McMillan alongside me, who is a World Cup winner in '99, Olympic winner in '96 with the USA, and she's going to hand the trophy over to it. We said Seattle, we said Memorial Stadium. It is Kim Little. So let's make our way down to the locker room and surprise that player now. So let's walk down. Sorry to interrupt everybody ahead of training, but we are here live from the BBC to award Kim Little with the BBC Women's Footballer of the Year award. Your team did a good job because they were all informed.
This happens every morning.
So Shannon McMillan is here to present you with the trophy. I will duck out of the way. So
on behalf of the BBC, congratulations on being the Footballer of the Year. Thank you. Well deserved, and give us some thoughts. What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, extremely happy and humbled to win, this BBC Footballer of the Year, especially coming from BBC in Great Britain as well.
is it a nice moment having all your teammates around you to kind of congratulate you?
Yeah, of course. We've got a great team here and great players, staff, and great owners. And I'm glad to be a part of this club. So it's nice to share this with them for sure.
Yeah, it's an extremely nice feeling, and nice for you guys to come here and surprise me. And yeah, great to have my teammates around who are a big part of myself and how me playing in last year especially. So yeah, I just want to play football and do the best that I can. And over the past couple of years, and especially being here at Seattle Reign, I've been able to play in a team with such great players that allowed me to sort of thrive and do what I can do as best as I can. And that's allowed me to create and score goals and be nominated for awards like this. So yeah, it's extremely nice, but I think it's a lot to do with who I'm surrounded by as well.
Just in terms of Kim, she won't pick herself up, but what makes Kim such a good player to have in front of you and going out in the pitch?
Yeah, she's just a team player through and through. One of the best teammates that I've ever played with. And I think what's incredible about Kim is she's a great offensive player and she scores goals, and everybody knows that. But she prides herself defensively as well. And as a goalkeeper and as a team player, we appreciate that because she gets back on defense. She's not afraid to go in for tackles. And she's just a complete player on the offensive side of the ball as well as the defensive side of the ball.
For me, it's in the way I play. It's to try and impact the game in the best way possible. And for me, that's by doing the things further up the pitch, maybe where I'm able to create something out of nothing or to score. And I'm just glad that I'm able to do that. And if I do that well, then it helps the team to win. So I just get to do the bit that's the sort of the good part in the goals and get a little bit of the glory sometimes when it's obviously not just me.
She's always just had that commitment to make herself better and better, and I think in the current club and environment especially, we've got good players and it helps Kim to show what she can do, and it's obviously great to be part of that and play alongside her.
Kim, finally, we've not long left on this live show, but in terms of you, and we've talked about the achievements this year, you were nominated alongside the likes of Carly Lloyd and Becky Sauerbrunn and Amandine Henry and Gail Ongonamui. It's a real sign of the strength of the women's game, isn't it, that we have 5 strong players, and you came out on top in the public vote, but do you feel like women's football is in a good place at the moment?
Yeah, of course. I think women's football is in a great place, and I think especially in terms of the USA and where I'm playing just now, it's leading the way. And I'm proud to have won this award and to stand up there for women's football, and hopefully it'll progress further. It's nice to win any award, and it's obviously especially nice for people to pick up the phone or you go online and vote. So yeah, thank you very much.
Jeans are what made Kazi look like Tomo, gave Allison her freckles, and put the blue in Jordan's eyes. And jeans are what can help the Swedish Cancer Institute choose which treatment will work best for each individual patient. At the Swedish Cancer Institute, we call this new way of treating cancer personalized medicine. But people like Sherry call it a ticket back home. The Swedish Cancer Institute. Extraordinary care, extraordinary caring.
In 1935, 18 workers each contributed 50 cents to start BECU. The first loans helped coworkers buy the tools they needed to do their jobs. Today, we're Washington's leading credit union, and we're still banding together to make our money go further. Because while others stay motivated by profits, we're motivated by something greater: our members. Join us.
My parents signed me up and they told me I just loved it so much that it was every year like, what do you want to play? And it was like soccer. I absolutely loved it. It was never a question of what I wanted to do when it was soccer signups. Adjust. Yes, fix it. Yes. It should look like this. First touch goes forward, cut, strike with the left foot. So when I was in high school, I had 6th period PE. Signed up for the soccer course, and it was very much so male dominated, and I used to that was the class I looked forward to all day, and that's actually how I met OT, my husband.
Yeah, soccer's been a big part of our lives. That was always our connection from the day we met, was soccer and how passionate we both were about it. We started off as friends, and that's what we did together. We played soccer.
Do you guys want to go to goal today? Yeah. The usual answer. Oh, here we go. Good job. Yes. Come on. Oh, good job today. I was going with Sky Blue to a preseason trip to Japan that following year, and the league folded. We got an email that said basically the trip's already been planned in Japan, so would you still like to go? And at the time I'm like, heck yeah. And I got there, and I remember being on the field and looking around and thinking that I have never seen a women's team play like this before. The movement was ridiculous. The understanding of the game was so good. The tactical awareness was amazing.
I was so excited. You know, I went back and immediately Skyped home and was talking to my parents in OT about the experience, and I get a knock on my hotel door. And they're like, we're offering contracts to stay for a year and you have a week to decide. I was like, oh my gosh, a full year of being in a foreign country.
She called me and was like, hey, this is, you know, what they offered. I was like, she goes, to be honest, this team is like the female Barcelona. That's the way they play, that's their style.
And I said, I have an opportunity to play for a women's team that I've never seen play this style of soccer.
And she debated about it, but in the end, she said, I'm not gonna go without you. So within 7 days, got married and took off to Japan.
Bev, who are you?
私は千秋です。私はベブリです。
英語お願いします。
I am Beverly.
He knew how much it meant to me. It allowed me to pursue who I was. I became a completely different soccer player. It was a turning point in my career that I needed desperately. And because he supported that, I was able to pursue it. I went to Japan as a center mid. So in college and growing up in the club scene, I was a center mid. So next practice we all show up and they look at me and the coach says, can you play center forward? Well, can I? Yes. Will I be good at it? Probably not. Never played there in my entire career. But I will play anywhere. I'll play anywhere where a coach sees that I am a good fit, then I'll figure it out. So the first few weeks was difficult because I didn't understand it. And the team was so patient with me and so kind. And after every single practice, they pulled out the whiteboard, the girls on the team pulled out the whiteboard and said, when the ball's here, this is what you do. This is your most important role. You have to keep it to one side. And they broke down the game for me. And they explained it to me, and they took the time to invest in me as a teammate. And I'll never forget that, because that was my turning point. And I'm going to work my butt off for this team because they are invested in me and I'm going to be invested in myself. And I studied the game like you wouldn't believe. I watched game after game after game. They sat with me after practice, every practice. And the second year I went back, I was like, okay, it's getting a little bit more, you know, and I stayed in that role. I had more success the second year, and I credit that a lot to the team and to having a more positive outlook. Then I felt, ready to come back to the States. I was missing family a lot. My agent called me and I said, I'm really excited to get back and start playing, center mid again. He's like, you're no longer a center mid. I said, what? And so I came back to the States in the brand new league as a forward. I got here and I felt like my game had grown immensely. I got here and I understood if I wanted the ball in a certain space, I had to get out of that space, create it, to then get in, to then receive the ball. My tactical awareness was on a completely different level. And for the first time in my career, I felt like I understood the game.
Hello everybody, Joe Fan here with another fresh face of Seattle Reign FC. I'm with forward Bev Goa. Bev, thanks so much for joining us, and again, welcome to Seattle.
Thank you for having me. It's been a joy to be here so far. First time in the Northwest, and I've enjoyed every minute of it so far. It's a little rainy, but I don't mind it at all. I think it's a beautiful city, and I'm having a ton of fun.
And I felt like it was an opportunity to mix growing up in the U.S. soccer system, learning what I learned for 2 years in Japan, and mixing the two, and continuing to learn from a coach like Laura. I mean, she's impeccable. Her understanding of the game is amazing. And I knew that was going to continue to accentuate what I had learned. And so I'm just so thankful to be a part of a club like this and the way that they do things here.
Hitting the brakes, left-footed ball in. Yanez! Her first touch, and it's a 1-0 lead!
It's allowed me to meet the most amazing people. It's allowed me to travel the world. It has brought so many things to my life, and I know when that day comes to hang those boots up, Yes, I'm hanging up the boots, but I'm not ever hanging up the spirit I developed from the game.
Fans, this season, Seattle Divorce Services is the proud presenter of the Play of the Match, following each Reign game on YouTube. Seattle Divorce Services believes in taking a sophisticated approach to solving tough cases, with options including litigation, collaboration, and mediation. Let them help you find the right approach for your case. For more information, visit SeattleDivorceServices.com. The second half about to get underway here at Memorial Stadium at Seattle Center. Seattle Reign FC with a 1-0 advantage over Arsenal Ladies FC. Let's go back and take a look at the lone goal from the first half of action, coming in the 17th minute.
Savannah Salon here turns, you see her look up, great awareness. Elston makes a great blindside run between the two center backs, holds on side. Keeper makes a good play on it, almost fouls her, takes her down for a PK. She stays up. Bev Yanez there. Picture perfect finish.
So you score in the first half, you get the nice feature at halftime. That's how it works. So congrats to Bev for getting her second goal in all competitions. She has 1 goal in league play, and of course the friendly here this evening, as we are anticipating numerous lineup changes for both squads here in the second half. Each team able to make up to 7 substitutions as opposed to the normal 3. It's like Cruz is getting ready to come back. Carson Pickett, Lindsay Elston, number 12, see Paige Nielsen.
Shelton.
Erica Shelton, player we have not seen on the pitch this season. Catherine Bennett, number 31, looks like she's going to get some playing time as well.
Now her I'm familiar with.
And explain why.
Well, because she's a Husky. Kate Bennett, Bellevue product, played for us at Washington. Has worked her, tail off. She made the Thorns team last year, was on the roster, got into a few games. This year decided to go to the open tryout and has been an outstanding practice player. And practice person for the Reign. It's great to see her get some minutes tonight. She's a tremendous human being and an outstanding player. It'd be fun for she and Lindsay Elston, who played here in town for the Crossfire Club, together since they were, I think, 11 or 12, to be matched up on the field again here together as pros.
Look at the Arsenal ladies. They'll make a switch in goal as Emma Byrne will take a seat, and moving in is Sari Van Venendaal. So Van Venendaal coming on in goal for Arsenal.
All right, Reign fans, get up on your feet. Get those scarves in the air. Let's be loud here at Memorial Stadium, home of your Seattle Reign FC. Second half of friendly action coming up. Crank it up.
With Leslie Gallimore, I'm Tom Glasgow. We quiet ourselves on occasion when the PA announcer kicks in here at Memorial Stadium.
It is not worth fighting over.
They have no issues with the speakers functioning here. And the second half underway. We'll make note of lineup changes as we identify who's come on and maybe who has taken a seat. Kendall Fletcher, who came on in the 31st minute for Jess Fishlock with a throw in. Here's Nielsen.
Erica Shelton, another tryout player.
25 was just on the ball. Kirsten Dahlstream.
Out of Cal State Bakersfield. Sorry, it's a little chilly. My nose is running. Sorry. I forget that everybody gets to share the inhale and exhale with me. Apologies.
Not the late May evening we were hoping for, but it's what we have.
I'm not in Ethiopia anymore. I like Paige Nielsen. She moves the ball around well.
throw in for Seattle.
I thought Amy was coming to drop off that caramel kettle corn. Dang it.
Your assistant coach, Amy Griffin, who I had the pleasure of working with on Sunday for that Red Stars game.
She does it all. Great cross in, bent right behind the defenders. Staying in it to press it.
And that cross coming from Catherine Bennett. That was nearly a Husky Cougar connection with Dahlstream targeted.
She'd want you to call her Kate, otherwise she'd think she's in trouble.
Okay. I'm making a note of that right now. I'm crossing off the official.
I see her parents
name
here, Lauren and Greg, sitting with the Elstons with Cash and Louise, and I think they're the ones that get the full Catherine Bennett call if maybe Kate has done something that they don't approve of, which is, I'm assuming, never.
Coming on for the Arsenal, just Asasat Ashwala. And we mentioned that she was the BBC Footballer of the Year in 2015, number 24, when you see her on the screen.
Playing over here on the right side. And if you look at Arsenal right now, just the numbers they put around the ball. 6 players around that, and they do well to turn it over. Then they get into their shape, expand.
Arsenal coming back this second half with certainly more of the players on the pitch that ended the first half than Seattle.
Yeah. And here they go.
And
you see
Haley
the speed there of Ashwala.
Not exactly getting the clearance she was hoping for, but the pressure was coming from Ashwala.
And they'll start, it looks as though that they'll start similar to how they started the first half, which is pressing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to force the Reign into a mistake, a bad back pass, a missed clearance.
Masada
to try to even this game up.
Ashwala. Alex Scott trying to get to that ball. And Carson Pickett unable to keep it in. Masada. Pressure on Pickett, who plays it out for the Arsenal throw-in. And that header back just a little too high for Alex Scott.
Great to see all the youth players out here tonight. This would be the first year. Seattle United, the club in town, Seattle Reign has joined forces and started a Seattle Reign Academy for girls. They introduced their youth teams at halftime under the tutelage of assistant coach Tracy Kevins. A lot of great coaches in that club, and looking forward to see them compete this year.
Youth soccer obviously huge across this country, but in this Puget Sound area, a number of quality clubs, and just a lot of opportunities for young people to play the game. Pickett. Nice ball up ahead to Dahlstream. Back to Pickett. Trying to find Nielsen. And cleared away. Far post, trying to get Havana Salon an opportunity.
This is one of the things I find interesting about Havana too, that I think will get better and better as she plays in this league and at this level, is she is clearly skillful enough, tactically aware enough. There are times where I think her strength against older players, she gets muscled off the ball a little bit.
Turnover here. And an opportunity for Arsenal. Played back. Nobbs wide open. Nobbs with a shot.
Great save by Kops.
Haley Kopmeyer getting a hand on a corner coming up for the Arsenal ladies. Excellent ball movement by Arsenal.
Great first touch. lets it rise on her a little bit. You don't want to ever have to put the ball up by the keeper's hands. Rain did a good job of recovering. They had good numbers back behind the ball on the goal line behind Kopmeyer. But the rise on that ball enabled Kopmeyer to get a hand on it.
Corradera with the corner. Our boy, post headed by Fletcher. Attempted a bit of a bicycle kick that time.
Substitutions at halftime.
I believe that was Danielle Van de Donk who's come on, number 21.
For Arsenal, making the changes going out of the lineup.
Dutch international.
Number 1, Emma Byrne in goal, and in
had a
is
hat
number
trick
13,
recently
Sarah
against Sunderland.
Vendedal.
Very productive
Also out
score.
number 20, Dominic Jansen, and in number 21, Danielle Van de Donk.
You've been excited to say Danielle Van de Donk.
I have.
Picked up number 9, Danielle Carter. And
I wanted to chime in and say it as well.
Asasa Osala. And out number 18.
Got a nice rhythm
Jody
to it.
Taylor, and in number 7,
Forward
Natasha
to seeing her
Pavlos
game.
Sanchon.
Good ball movement there. Unfortunate
And
foul
the
that
substitutions for your Seattle Reign FC.
stopped the flow of that, but that
Goal,
looked good.
Number 1, Hope Solo, and in number 28, Haley Kopmeyer. Also departing, number 8, Kim Little, and in number 31, Catherine Bennett. Coming out of the lineup, number 4, Rachel Corsi, and entering number 25, Kirsten Dahlstring. Also coming out of the match, number 17, Beverly Yanez, and in number 33, Rebecca Handler.
This would be one of those times we're not fighting over the loudspeaker. But just as he's announcing all the substitutes, Arsenal get in and now have a corner kick opportunity.
Corradera with the service, and that one just over the goal.
She got up well for that one. A little bit of a free header. No one went up with her. And a little fortunate, I would say, here in the opening minutes of the second half for the Reign, not to concede a goal.
Let's see who got that.
It was kind of two players undercutting each other.
I think that was Jody Taylor, unless I picked up the wrong number, which are a little bit of a distance from where we are located. Could have been 19, not 18, Gemma Rose. Either way, another good opportunity for Arsenal. Corradera. And a dunk. And the collision and the foul as Michelle Cruz went down, and the first booking in this match, the yellow coming out for Danielle Van de Donk.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A yellow
Early
card.
she came to play here tonight.
Warning has
Oof.
been issued to number 21.
Yeah, Michelle Cruz
of
got on
Arsenal
the
Ladies FC,
bad end of that.
Danielle
She went up
Van de
clean
Donk
and fair, and
in
Van de
the
Donk came in
56th
hard
minute.
and with an elbow out, I'd say, which could have hurt her and Cruz. So a deserved booking, in my opinion.
Knobs. There's Nielsen trying to run onto the ball. Rose heading it back.
Seattle Reign FC would like to welcome the following groups in attendance at tonight's match. Dazzling Soccer Dragons, Harbor Premier Soccer Club, and the Cascade Gooners and Arsenal Supporters Section.
Kate Bennett does well to solve pressure. She's got quick little feet. She moves the ball around well. She works hard. It's fun to see her out here tonight.
Well, there's a very nice ball to Carson Pickett.
Ellie Reed does well there. I know Ellie's been kind of the utility player. She's played up front, she's played at the back. I personally like her at the back, so it's good to see her back there tonight. I think she can add a lot coming out of the back.
Gulfstream. So she tries to break down the defense by herself. She chooses to go to Elston, and the Huskies will reverse the field.
Or the rain.
Or the Huskies, the rain. All the Huskies that are out there.
You did it, not me, Tom.
I was looking at some Huskies out there.
I like the call. Our
Not
team,
even close with the colors.
our team is here tonight, bulk of them, the ones that didn't have too much study on docket with finals coming up in a couple weeks. But a good group of them showed up tonight to watch. They understand what a treat it is to have this team in their hometown and also to be treated to a friendly against a team from England.
Knobs. Looking for Adera. Kopmeyer there, though, for Seattle. There's one of those Huskies, Elston, playing it out wide.
She's kind of playing a true 6 right now in that holding spot with the center back split wide. She comes back to be the connect player there in the middle.
Nice takeaway by Salon.
Crafty solves pressure well on her own.
Reed now. That ball chipped out of play. You can't get any closer to the action without being on the team. Join Rain FC on the pitch here at Memorial Stadium for your chance to meet players, watch warm-ups, and receive exclusive team signed gear. It's the VIP experience. The lone goal in this match coming in the 17th minute, Bev Yanez. And so far it has held for 40 plus minutes. Ashwala getting ahead on it.
Also welcoming tonight, All in America,
Seattle.
and Rain FC would like to wish a very happy birthday to Matthew Morrissey.
This game is fun to watch from a tactical standpoint. Both teams trying to possess the ball, move it around, press at times, forcing the other team's hand. It'd be fun to see a little bit more risk taking. Here you see Elston on the run and how much ground she covers on the dribble quickly. That's an outstanding ball if Paige Nielsen can get on the end of it. And again, right idea. Dribbling one way, cutting it across the grain to a runner going on behind the back line. I like that run and that ball by Lindsay Elston.
Speaking with Laura Harvey before the match, and I was asking her to compare English soccer at the women's professional level versus what we have here in the States with the National Women's Soccer League. And she said, well, in the Women's Super League, it's more of a technical, tactical game. Here, more of a physical element to the games, faster pace. Ashwala, well defended. Chance for Seattle to counter here.
I would say though that Laura's definitely had an impact on the soccer because you can say all those things, but watching this game, you're not going to look at Lady Arsenal and say that there isn't a physical element to their game.
Absolutely.
And you're certainly not going to watch the Rain and say that there isn't a tactical, thoughtful plan to how and technical, skillful way that the Rain play. So, whether that's sort of imprinting of style by Laura or just the games internationally at this level becoming more and more similar.
I was watching Arsenal's match with Chelsea, not the FA Cup matchup, but the league matchup prior to that FA Cup game. Good opportunity there for the Arsenal ladies. And, jumping out at you in terms of speed anyway was Knobs and Scott and Carter.
Yeah.
And the pace that they have, very impressive.
Well, and if you watched the World Cup last summer, I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Despite the U.S. just annihilating Japan in the final, which was, something to behold in itself. But the rest of that tournament, the parity that's happened in this game over the last 20 years, 25 years, I would say in large part thanks to the U.S., to be honest. It's just been really a treat to watch.
Corridera, Lasada. Ashwala heading it out. Trying to head it on to a teammate and played out by Seattle. Look at Salon, nicely done.
That's Havana holding players off the way she needs to do more consistently, so she's got it in her. She's getting used to the strength of players. Good checking run back. Kate Bennett running down into the corner to catch up to this one. She's skillful, I'm telling you. She could do a little magic herself with her feet.
Ellie Reed.
Playing with Kim Little as someone in practice that she gets to watch probably doesn't deter her from trying some creative things on the ball. It's Kate's game and she loves it.
Shot, and right to the goalie, getting a good right foot on that one was Erica Shelton.
I'm telling you, Havana Salon, these are great minutes for her to get. She can really help this team down the line, and I think will earn more minutes as the season goes on.
Masada going down, and this will result in a penalty.
Hard not to call that one.
And Arsenal with an opportunity to tie this match coming up. See if we can get a replay and find out which player took down Lasada.
Looks like Kendall Fletcher gets her with the upper body and the arm. Kind of clotheslines her actually, and got clotheslined back. Again, hard not to call it. Cop will be called to duty here to try to stop this penalty shot. And if the game
Natalia Pablo Sanchon with the
tucks it nicely into the corner.
Goal.
And now that this game has gone 1-1, as a friendly, it'll be interesting to see how both teams respond.
The goal coming in the 64th minute. Sanchon. Nicely done with the placement, going low to that left corner.
Natalia Pablos Sanchon.
Spanish international player, Sanchon. Alex Scott. Jim Rose, the long ball forward, trying to get a head on it. Paige Nielsen. Flag up offside.
And that's one thing in Paige Nielsen's game that's going to have to change a little bit. She's aggressive going forward, and again, you see Laura putting a lot of minutes on her plate tonight for this very reason. These kids have to get experience, and when I say kids, it's the college players that have just come from playing at the highest level possible in the collegiate game, but now as a professional, reading other teams' defenses, timing your runs, and being able to look across that line and watch the ball, the line at the same time, and knowing when you need to break is a big part of the game at this level as a forward.
Sanchon. And Vanda Donk taken down. Dahlstream. Very nice touch by Kirsten Dahlstream.
Great touch by Dahlstream. What she does with it, she has her head up and can see the field now.
Players getting tangled up, and the Arsenal player shaken up on the pitch right now, and then
is that the kind of
keeper and another player down.
Not what the Arsenal coach wants to see, are these bad kind of scrambles and collisions.
Trying to pick up the number
in
of
a friendly
injured player. Maybe a little shove from Dahlstream contributing to that situation.
Just trying to get her foot out. Just trying to get her foot out.
Van Veenendaal not giving up that ball.
Getting a little talking to by one of the Arsenal players.
It was Emma Mitchell who was shaken up, number 3. Looks like she's fine. Maybe favoring that left arm, left shoulder. Again, if you're just joining us or joined us late, very early in this match, Leah Williamson suffering a right ankle injury that had her being taken off on a stretcher. No update on her condition.
The other thing I would think is interesting, and although a lot of these international players, and I have not been to the UK to see what the facilities are like, but obviously in the World Cup last summer, the teams were all forced to play on artificial surface, are the number of balls that run out of bounds. Just the final pass in particular, that is just, it's hit too hard, it rolls out, it's pacey, it's, you know, one that on grass would hold a little bit more for the runner. And so I don't know how much this as a club they've been playing on turf as of late, but that must be something that takes them a little bit to get used to.
Pick your favorite 5 matches and put together your perfect package. Match packs are a great way to see the matches you want and receive discounted ticket prices. Call 855-RAIN-FC for more information. Rose with the header.
Oh. We got some children climbing around us here. That was my cautious mother noise I just made. The kid just almost did an endo down the stairs.
Rose getting tangled up with Nielsen, and the foul will go against Gemma Rose.
Nobody really up and warming up right now. Early on in the second half for the Reign. It'll be interesting to see if Laura makes any more substitutions. Carson Pickett over the ball, Kate Bennett over the ball. Kate can hit it from this distance. Pickett to serve it, nice driven low ball.
Nicely done. It was
Paige Nielsen got her foot on it, but just couldn't get her hips around it to get it on frame, and it goes out for a goal kick. But really dangerous ball by Carson Pickett, bent in behind their line. Is that your job, Tom? Did I just steal your gig?
We're a team. We're a team, no problem. Right, the best opportunity here in the second half for Seattle to score.
Yeah, definitely Arsenal's had more of the run and more danger down in the other box.
Ashwala.
You don't want to see her in open field too often.
Nigerian international. Can she get to that ball in time and save it? She cannot.
A little too fast for her own good and lets it roll away from her, but you can see where that can be a danger for Arsenal.
She had an outstanding U20 World Cup for Nigeria back in 2014, winning the Golden Boot. Very nice combination of size and speed.
Paige Nelson pressing here a little bit. This is what has to happen. They have to read that, and the rest of the Reign players have to fall in behind. Kirsten Dahlstrom does a good job. Kate Bennett does a good job of coming in and regaining possession. I think both teams have shown at times collectively how well they can defend as a unit. And when I say defend, I mean not only turning the ball over, but turning it over on the next pass or two, mounting a good attack and a creative or intelligent attack. Paige Nielsen pressing again.
For someone who has not seen a lot of game action,
she's getting her fitness in.
Got a lot of energy left in the tank, it appears.
I'll tell you this right now, those Carolina players, they never lack for fitness.
Mr. Dorrance has a regime he likes to implement.
He's got a program. He's got a plan. Our new assistant coach, Nikki Washington, former professional in the league, also a Tar Heel, understands that's a big part of how they've won so much at Carolina is fitness is a given.
Knobs, nice ball ahead. Broken up, though, by Kendall Fletcher.
Good read by Fletch.
And that is a foul against Seattle. Nielsen.
I like Nielsen's aggression. She's a tough player, you know, and she's another one who I think has come off an injury, and looks to be in really decent form for just coming back.
Lozada not really thrilled with the tackle from behind. Very nicely done by Pickett to get the left leg to deny the pass. Bennett.
That's just a trip over the ball there.
Knobs taken away by Seattle.
I'd say that that's one of the
Nielsen.
things that's improved the most about Kate Bennett's game is her defending. Does a good job to get in the right places and in those passing lanes to pick balls off.
Advantage playing on Arsenal. Nice pass. Hashwala, the feed across the middle. Dangerous ball. Nobody able to get on the end of it. Rain FC matches are a great way for your next corporate outing or team activity. Ticket discounts are available for groups of 15 or more. Call 855-RAIN-FC for more information. Get some friends and family together. Make your way out to Memorial Stadium. Still plenty of this season left to be played, although I think it's fair to say, Leslie, and certainly there's plenty of merit in the injury issues that Seattle has been dealing with. They've got to find a way and no better way to get that started than getting a win at Portland.
No
on
doubt,
Sunday.
tough place to play. What I was going to say earlier too is, despite FC KC struggles and even the Reign coming off of 2 second place finishes, 2-time Shield winners, and not getting out of the gates probably as fast as they'd hoped. It really is a testament too to how some other teams in the league. Look at the Orlando Pride, the new expansion team, and
Great fan
Chicago.
support they have down there.
Yeah, and
Terrific.
there's just there's something to be said for each franchise and how they're building their rosters, building their clubs, and making this league viable over time. And year 4 is it's the magic year for a women's pro league. And I think there's no better way to help that than to have franchises and teams all over the country showing they can compete.
For those watching overseas who are not aware, the 2 previous women's professional leagues did not survive past year 3, so it is significant to have this 4th season of the NWSL. I'm curious, how do you think the Olympics will impact the league moving forward? Another boost in terms of solidifying the foundation?
Well, here's some really good possession by the Reign. They're stringing a bunch of passes together, which I love to see. And again, that's an unfortunate turnover.
Knobs.
But I think as Arsenal tried to press early on, the half's wearing on, and they've slowed their defending down a little bit. And the Reign's starting to get a little bit more joy on the ball and stringing more passes together, which is fun to see. Back to the Olympics. What type of effect do I think it'll have on the league? I just think any time that you have women's soccer in the spotlight internationally, like the World Cup, like the Olympic Games, it's good for any league around the world. The popularity of the sport. So the Olympics finish, and people want to follow those players. And there's a lot of them spread out across the NWSL, and it'll be summertime. It'll be towards the end of the league when the Olympics finish, and we'll be getting into the playoffs. People will want to go see the games and tune into the streams. And I just think it's only positive when you can have world events coupled with the seasons. And they've gotten used to the international breaks and understanding how to work within that structure. And I think that's always a work in process, and and just discussion amongst the owners and the coaches on how to get that right. And so, I think it bodes well, and everyone gets excited for the Olympics.
Corridera, Ashwala getting plenty of support in the 18.
Really good build-up by Arsenal. Fortunate for the Reign there to get a deflection at the last minute, but that was a good, speedy build-up with a great quality chance at the end there.
One of the better ones we've had this evening, and
Definitely.
second very good scoring opportunity for Jordan Nobbs, the English national team player and former player under Laura Harvey. A 4-time FA Cup winner is Jordan Nobbs.
Which
so
is impressive.
Quite a resume.
You know, the thing I will say is that this game, you know, from about 30 yards out from both goals, there's been some entertaining play, some good defending, and once in a while we've seen some decent attacks and creative chances. Like you said, that was probably one of the better ones as far as speed of the build-up and the opportunity and the excitement of it. That's the thing you'd like to see a little bit more in this game, is not even just goals, but a little bit more creativity, a little bit more risk in the final third to create opportunities.
And into the match, number 25, Chloe Kelly.
Chloe Kelly coming on for Arsenal. Marta Corredera coming off for Pedro Martinez Los's squad. There's number 25, Chloe Kelly. Salon, nice ball. The cross. Dahlstrom unable to get on the end of it.
These are just, I've said it before and I'll say it again, these are just such great minutes for some of these younger players that haven't had this time yet on the field, and for Laura to be able to get a look to see, you know, away from just practice and playing against one another, what they can do.
Rain last year had a friendly against China's national team. Laura Harvey felt that some good things came out of that, to the degree that it helped the Rain kind of get on a more consistent path on their way to the Supporters Shield last season, hoping to get some of the same effects here this evening. Of course, the injury issue a little more of a factor this year than it was in 2015 for Seattle.
That's another, you know, opportunity right there. Havana Salon, you see, in a 3-front. She started kind of far back, but just reading the cue of when Dahlstrom went to press, she needed to be a little bit higher up and not let them play out. They turned the ball over, but she still needs to get her positioning right. Kate Bennett earning the foul there.
Free kick for Seattle.
Seattle Rain FC thanks you for coming out for our game tonight. Tonight's official attendance, 4,083.
4,083 the attendance tonight. Very good midweek crowd. Right around the average that Seattle delivers. This job
Goalkeeper
coming out.
colliding with their own player. Kind of got undercut, one backing up and one coming forward.
And Wienendahl.
And again, same thing for Arsenal. You just don't want to see in a friendly come all this way for them to take injuries.
Jim Rose signaling that assistance is needed. And we cannot see the number of the injured player. We'll see if we can pick it up on the replay.
Good free kick in by Elston.
Not even sure which
hard to see which
part of the
player
body
that is.
was impacted in that collision.
Just knocked the
Maybe
wind
get
out of her. She's holding her
favoring.
arm, shoulder. Hard to say.
Right there, that arm was extended.
Yeah, her shoulder. She's kind of holding her elbow and arm a little bit, but keeping herself on.
Josephine Henning. Be a bit of a hyperextension. Look at Josephine.
She's got her hand held across her chest. It doesn't help you to run, but doesn't prevent you from playing.
Very nice header from Scott, who's trying to get on the end of that pass. Cannot. Elston.
Lindsay Elston's come in late in a few of the games this year and had some opportunities. She's got a heck of a shot. She's playing a little deeper right now, but if they can find a way to get her, or Kate Bennett for that matter, within 25, 30 yards of the goal, they both have excellent shots from distance. I'd love to see both of them, either of them, give it a go.
Tell you what, very good work on that far touchline. Working down into the final third by Chloe Kelly.
Yeah.
Just came on a few minutes ago, and she has earned a free kick in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, that was a bright substitution for them.
One match. And
ladies and gentlemen, your
that
attention,
service
please.
directly to
A
Haley
yellow card warning
Koppmeyer.
has been issued to number 7 of Seattle Reign FC, Ellie Reed, in the 83rd minute.
Reed getting the caution. I did not see that card come out.
Ellie Reed is a big bully. And for those of you that know her or have had the chance to meet her, you could tell that right off the bat. It's the first thing you think of when you meet Ellie Reed is bully.
I hinted a bit of sarcasm.
More than a hint.
So each club with a booking here tonight.
It was great. I just got back from Ethiopia.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about
well,
that
I
trip,
went.
'cause I know you loved it.
I was thinking of it because of Ellie Reed. I went as a sports envoy. Second time I've been able to take one of those trips for the U.S. State Department, and I worked with the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And the cool thing about the trip, other than all the things I got to do when I was there in 2 different cities, running clinics and meeting with different girls groups and students to speak about empowerment and education through sport, was all the great things people had to say about Teresa Predmore, Ellie Reed, and Lauren Barnes' trip with Water First to Ethiopia. They had met them, the ambassador had met them, and they, when they heard I was from Seattle, they asked if I knew them, and so it was great. You know, the thing I say over and over again is that football, soccer shrinks the world, and you know, to fly that far around the world and land in a place and have them already talking about Seattle and soccer here and about the Seattle Reign was really cool for me.
Good for you for doing that. There's a lot of folks in Ethiopia, I'm sure, to get the support from this area.
It was great to be able to work with the girls that I had the opportunity, probably 200 or more in all. There's another one of those turf balls. That's just a firm pass that on this, it's just going to roll out every time. And it's tough because I think there's a lot of great attacking players in this game. And if they just
saw the ever by
ease up on the final pass a little bit.
Saw her speed, sprinter type speed as Hashwala tried to find her. By the way, moments ago, the player dealing with the cramping for Arsenal was Lasada. 86th minute now here in Seattle. Ashwala unable to keep that ball in play.
Another ball over the touchline.
Wear what the pros wear. Pick up the new 2016 jersey for men, women, and kids. We have hundreds of Reign FC items to choose from. Head over to ReignFCShop.com. If they have a parka handy, I'd be willing to swap that out for what I'm wearing right now.
Yeah.
Getting a little chillier here this evening in Seattle.
My puffy's got a W on it, so this one doesn't go on camera, so I'd take a rain puffy.
That works.
Summer's coming, though. Long days, long sunny days. Well, well, well.
Yeah.
If it's not another Husky coming on right now. Mackenzie Karras.
Apparently you're doing your job well.
AKA Jammer out of Las Vegas, Nevada, currently graduated senior. Went on trial with Kansas City. They wanted her to stay as a practice player. She couldn't afford to stay there. Came home, has been training with the Reign, and is now making her first appearance here at center back. Congratulations, Jammer.
some sort of feeder system you have going? It
Well,
is a short drive from
it's nice to have a pro team in town.
University of Washington to Seattle Center. I did want to mention for those who are overseas who are listening to us, and you were talking about summer in Seattle, I'll play the role of tourism advocate. If you have not been to Seattle, come anytime. We'd love to have you. Come after July 4th, July, August, September. Really is a terrific place to spend some time and see some professional soccer, whether it's...
And use the light rail.
There you go. Use the new light rail.
Don't
it's
rent
growing.
a car.
It's expanding.
You can get
that is the downside.
You can get straight from the airport to Husky Stadium on the link.
Gulfstream, far post service. And it looked like Jenna Rose.
Good ball by Dahlstrom there. Kate Bennett on the corner. Mackenzie Karras is coming up. Fun to see 3 Huskies on the field. Hope's on the bench for this half, but exciting for me as a coach to see them all out there.
Not sure if that was Gemma Rose or Mitchell that put that out, but did the job well.
Mackenzie Karras is formidable in the air. Fun thing about her, she kicked field goals for her high school football team. See if she can get her head on the end of this one. Well, it's not how she intended to.
Nielsen.
Kept the ball alive, though. Elston on the ball now.
Dahlstrom. Defended well by Scott.
Well done by Dahlstrom to keep the ball down in this end.
Elston left-footed service. A little strong that time.
Good job by Erica Shelton to step in there and again keep the ball pressed into this final third. I think Laura would love to see them get a late goal. She's up, she's active on the sideline. Michelle Cruz has stepped in and done a nice job at center back.
Van de Bonk trying to catch Kaufmeyer off guard. Not
and almost
a bad
does.
effort.
Little dipper there
Not
from
a bad
distance.
effort.
I think both teams would like to see this game not end in a draw. It's a friendly, but after all, make it more exciting for the fans to see a game winner. Would love to see that happen for the Reign.
Do some PKs just for fun at the end? I don't think
Nah.
sign off on that.
Nah.
Nielsen trying to
stay on side, which she did.
Yeah.
She's a fighter. She gets all her arms, legs. She gets it all going in there. Yep. Alex Scott. She's gonna argue she was trying to get up, but
it's a good opportunity coming up here for Seattle with a free kick.
Paige Nielsen here battling. I think Scott wanted the foul on Dahlstrom there. But now she's playing on the ball, obstructing. She can't do that.
Last time in a very similar situation, Carson Pickett served up a very nice ball that Nielsen got a foot on. Another bender. Head for Seattle, and Dahlstrom unable to.
Jammer got her head on that one, made a good play at it.
And Dahlstrom now goes down. I don't know if she took an inadvertent elbow or.
The fourth official has said there will be a minimum of an additional 3 minutes.
Take a look here. The foul was called on Dahlstrom. Hard to see.
She's up now. I think she just might have, I don't know. She's up. Not, Amy Griffin told me one thing she learned to do the Olympics for NBC. She did the World Cup in '95 for ESPN as one of their first female broadcasters, and the thing they tell you is never speculate on an injury.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna.
Okay.
And she's up and running around, so we're just gonna go with she's fine.
2 minutes of stoppage time. About halfway through that. See if either of these clubs can come up with a late game winning goal.
Really, really fun and good crowd on a Thursday night.
Knobs going out wide. Sanshan Sanshon with Arsenal's goal here this evening on the penalty kick.
Paige Nielsen's been really, really active tonight. She's worked hard. Again, I think these are great minutes for her to get.
Ashwala the shot, a dangerous attempt.
Bouncing ball, just didn't let it drop far enough before she hit it, and it skied it over the bar, but she is one quick player and strong. She holds her player off well.
Kelly Reed. And the goal kick for Seattle in closing seconds here at Memorial Stadium.
Well, it's been an entertaining game, like I said, from about 20 yards out to 20 yards out. A lot of balls rolled out of bounds in the final third on the final pass. There were a couple of good moments inside the box for both
very
teams.
Nice ball. Van de Bok trying to get on the end of it. Van de Donk out wide. Ashwala trying to create some room. Well defended by the Rain.
Good job by Mackenzie Karras. Jammer there to keep her feet. I would say 1v1 defending on the ground from her freshman year to now is where she's improved the most. She's always been dominant in the air as a youth player, but to be able to keep her feet with a player that quick in a 1v1 situation, impressive.
And that'll do it. Fun night of international soccer between Arsenal Ladies FC, Seattle Reign FC, ending in the 1-1 draw. Seattle scoring in the first half. Bev Yanez and Natalia Pablos Sanshon with a penalty kick in the second half for Arsenal.
Great chance for some young players to get a full 90 or 45 to 60 minutes. Great chance for the likes of Keelan Winter, who just gets worn out over a season, to rest. Fishlock to get back into form and play for 30 minutes. Just a great opportunity.
Well, the play of the match, I think it's a fairly obvious call, at least from a Seattle perspective, and that would be the goal in the 17th minute as we take another look at it. Seattle Divorce Services proud to present tonight's play of the match. And Beverly Yanez with the goal that gave Seattle the 1-0 advantage. Nice ball played forward by Salon, and then Elston battling, keeping the ball alive for Yanez. The equalizer coming in the second half for Arsenal. Well, what do you think Seattle takes from this, Leslie, in terms of moving forward to the league match on Sunday in Portland?
No, I think it just gives Laura another look at, with some of the regulars sitting and watching tonight, what other kinds of combinations are out there. The thing I mentioned early on in the game, did Lindsay Elston do well enough over a 90-minute period? I think she's fit enough, but does she play well enough in Laura's mind to maybe have her in that midfield with Fishlock and Winters and move Kim Little up closer to the goal, or at least maybe use her more? I don't know. And Paige Nielsen tonight was outstanding. She worked hard. Havana
really
Salon, I thought especially the second half gave some really good minutes in that game. So, just a really perfectly timed opportunity for Laura to get great competition against a quality club like Lady Arsenal, to show some things from her team, and even with the players at the back. Mixed it up a little bit.
Next home match against the Houston Dash. That'll be on June 12th here at Memorial Stadium. Hope you have an opportunity to come out and see that in person. If not, love to have you rejoin us on the stream on YouTube. Player of the match, and it's a player that Coach just talked about moments ago and the effort she really put into her game tonight, and I know she hopes it'll lead to more meaningful minutes moving forward. That's Paige Nielsen.
Yeah, you know, it's great to see her again get the minutes that she got tonight and be able to, you know, show what she can add to this club. She was a little bit optimistic, I think, with some of the chances that she took, but on the flip side of that, you got to like the confidence in a young player like that to get shots off. You know, becoming a little bit more sophisticated in front of the goal is what's going to take. Becoming a, you know, a consistent finisher, a composed finisher is something that she has to add. We talked about being more aware of her runs. She makes great runs. She's super mobile. She's quick. She's hard. But just the timing of those to hold herself on side to get herself into good scoring position. This will be great video for her to go back and make some small adjustments to her game that help her have an impact.
Pleasure to have Arsenal Ladies FC here in Seattle. Our thanks to Pedro Martinez Losa for the time he spent with us pre-game. Safe trip back home. And for those of you joining us from England, thank you very much for tuning in tonight. We wish your club the best moving forward in the FA WSL Super League action. Again, the next match for Arsenal, June 26th against Sunderland. Well, big thanks to Bootstrappers Studios for tonight's broadcast, live streaming sports and events of all sizes. You can visit them on the web at bootstrapperstudios.com. Again, the final score here this evening at Memorial Stadium, a 1-1 draw between Seattle Reign FC, Arsenal Ladies FC. And good enough to join us down on the field, Paige Nielsen. Well, Paige, we sang your praises. You don't get a lot of minutes in game action, but boy, you were working hard out there tonight. How do you feel?
It feels great. You know, it wasn't just today that I worked hard, but
No, in terms of just in a game situation where you played a lot of minutes for this Reign club.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect. First half, the adrenaline kicked in, and I was just running. It's fun playing with Kim Little. It's fun playing with the good players around you. So if you mess up, like, you have a good squad behind you. So.
Paige, this is Coach Gallimore. This is the first time I've seen you play live for the Reign, and I really enjoyed it. And we did sing your praises a lot during the game. Why don't you tell for our viewership a little bit kind of about your journey and how you got to this point and what you've been doing over the last few months?
Well, that would take like 20.
The brief version.
Yeah.
The brief version.
I just graduated from UNC.
Yep.
Went to Germany, and I was thinking about playing overseas. And then I got drafted to Seattle. And not the funny thing, but my mom actually had a stem cell transplant here in Seattle last year. And everything in my heart said, go to Seattle, leave Germany, leave overseas. This is like calling me. And my mom speaks through me. She passed away last summer, and I think I was just drawn to Seattle. Laura Harvey is one of the best coaches I've ever played under, and just everything up into this moment led me to Seattle. And then once I got here, I was like, I have become an amazing player because of all the great players around me and the coach, and everyone wants to work hard, and it's just a good place to be.
Well, it was a thrill to watch you play tonight, and there are bright things in your future. You're a young player and playing, like you said, it's fun to play with Kim Little. That's an understatement of the year.
No, yeah, for sure.
I pretend like I'm playing with her when I watch her, but I think there are just little things in your game that the minute you go back and look at film and make that adjustment to being a professional at this level, that you've got a bright future and can be a real impact this season for this group. So good luck to you.
Well, thank you.
Paige, thank you. Always good to connect with a Tar Heel.
Yeah.
All right.
Go Heels.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for your time. Well done tonight for the Seattle Reign. 1-1 the final. Yanez for Seattle. Pablo Sanchan for Arsenal Ladies FC. Leslie Gallimore, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great night. We'll see you again soon.
Let it
on
rain.
YouTube.